Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Bishop, and I'll be going over my ethnography of ABC Company. Before we get into these slides, I just want to give you an agenda of what we will be covering. I attend a weekly meeting for ABC Company. I'll talk about the setting, talk about the meeting itself. I'll give you a cultural critique of the meeting, an ethical critique, and I'll give my overall perspective. ABC Company is a global company. The focal points of ABC Company are sales and production. Company product consists of piling products, tubular products, and track products. Piling products are basically I-beams, H-beams. Construction products, tubular products are self-explanatory. They're pipes. And track products are anything that deals with the railroad. So you see railroad crossings, rail itself, switch points, turnout packages. Those are all track products. Each of the three product segments play a pivotal role on the success of the company. The setting of the meeting consists of about 15 employees. Like I said, we're a global company. The meeting, all the participants of the meeting are scattered throughout the globe. We have some people in Europe, South America, North America, all over the States, Central America. That's why the meeting is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's the most logical time to where everyone can attend the meeting at a reasonable hour. Employees get into the meeting. We call the meeting is conducted through via video conference. ABC Company's headquarters is located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the way the participants get into the meeting, they call a centralized number. When you call that number, you're prompted to automated voicemail. The automated voicemail will ask you to put in a password or code. Once you enter that code, you are linked into the meeting. Once you get linked into the meeting, you log onto a secure website, and through that website, you're able to view every other individual of the meeting, and you're able to view the slides of the senior vice president. The senior vice president is the facilitator of the meeting, and he's located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and that's the origin of the meeting. And then from there, everybody else will tap in, and the meeting is conducted via video conference. The meeting itself, there are no rules. There's not a set of rules that we have to abide by, but there are cultural norms. There's meeting norms. Being on time is vital. Being respectful, professional. There's very little small talk. Very rarely will you hear somebody ask about somebody else's weekend or their personal life. It's just not the norm. The meetings are very intense. They're long. Sometimes they can be drawn out, but we cover a lot. The meetings go over operations and production and sales. Those are the three entities that we focus on, trying to improve the overall prosperity of the company. So overall, the meeting has a very professional environment, very professional atmosphere. There's a hierarchy structure to the meeting. The senior vice president is the head of the meeting. From there, you have sales reps from each geographical location. So you have a sales rep from North America, South America, from Europe. And they represent various countries. And then from there, you have the production managers. ABC Company has various production facilities throughout the globe. And so you'll have a plant manager that represents their affiliated facility. And then I'm the lowest on the totem pole. I represent the logistics and inventory department. So when there's a question that's regarding inventory logistics, I'm the one who provides knowledge and information. The beauty about a hierarchy, in my opinion, it provides structure, boundaries, and organization. People know what they can or cannot do. People know who's superior to them or inferior to them. And like I said, what I like about the hierarchy, it keeps the environment professional instead of getting it to a level to where the professionalism is not to where it should be. I think the hierarchy keeps the meeting very productive. One of the amazing things about the meeting is the variable of people, being that we are a global company. We have employees that are from various nations. Many people in the meeting, their primary language is not English. We have some employees in Brazil. Their primary language is Portuguese. We have employees in Canada. Their primary language is French. And then obviously we have people in English, a couple employees who speak Spanish. The meeting is conducted in English, but I think it's amazing how we have such a diverse group. You know, diversity is no longer the exception; it's the norm. And the senior vice president does a good job of getting everyone to gel, to mesh, to accept the cultures of their peers. And I think that's one of the most unique characteristics of the meeting is the makeup, the variable of people. And the senior vice president does a good job of creating or treating the people as people, as what they are, not as objects. So it's very, very unique and very fascinating in my opinion. A cultural critique. I know I've already kind of touched base on this, but one thing I want to stress is that every culture is different. You know, there's no two cultures that will mirror each other. No two people are alike. Therefore, no two cultures will be identical. There'll always be some variance in some way, shape, or form. And there's no such thing as a correct or incorrect culture, because being that there's such a vast array of cultures, you'll never have. It's hard to define a correct or incorrect one because of the infinite number of cultures that one can have. But you can have functional or dysfunctional cultures. Functional cultures are progressive. They're productive. They're effective. Dysfunctional cultures are ones that may be stagnant, ineffective. They lack efficiency. But one of the great things about our meeting is conflict is a cultural norm. A lot of people cringe on the subject of culture. They may frown upon it if they look at it as a negative entity, but actually culture is something that should be embraced, something that should be accepted. Culture or conflict, it identifies values, it identifies beliefs. So if I have a conflict with somebody, maybe somebody's bothering me or doing something to me, and I confront them and initiate a conflict, and I tell them what I think or what is important to me, what they will learn is what I value, what I believe, and from there we can move forward. But if it was that initial conflict that caused another to understand what I like, conflict can expose flaws in systems or processes. So if I view a system and I see something, I see an improvement, I see a better way of doing it, and I approach the other parties involved in that system and say, look, there's a better way that this can be done, there's a more efficient way. There'll be initial conflict, but in the long run, there'll be an improvement. That's if we embrace conflict and we look at it as a constructive entity and not as destructive or a negative entity. But everyone must be educated and edified on the subject of conflict. A lot of people try to avoid conflict, or they think conflict is as a sign of insubordination, or they see conflict as criticism. Conflict's not always criticism. Conflict is not being a subordinate. It's with discussions, with dialogue, that things can get improved. Conflict is the infancy stage of improvement. So that's the cultural norm of the meeting, and I think that's what makes us efficient, makes us progressive. That's why we're reaching a level of prosperity. The organization is very professional. Like I said, we focus on our mission of making sales, exceeding expected sales, being productive, and having a high efficiency rate of operations. The ethical critique. Ethics is an ambiguous term. There's numerous versions and definitions and perspectives on ethics. I think we can all agree to that to some level. But for the meeting, I would say the meeting utilizes the utilitarian ethics approach. It's the greater good exceeds all other entities. We make a decision based on what's best for the company, based on what's best for the shareholders, what's in the best interest for the employees. And sometimes when you focus on a majority, sometimes the minority suffers. So sometimes the decision that we make within the meeting will be at the expense of a few others. So the greater good exceeds all others. That's kind of what we focus on. So my overall perspective of the meeting, it's very productive. The culture is functional. I say we're functional because we are making strides toward improvement. So we're reaching our sales, operations, production is running at a high efficiency rate. Ethics, we focus on what's best for the majority, not the minority. And in the meeting as a company, right and wrong is measured by what is best for the company itself, the shareholders, and the employees. So that's kind of the cultural norm, the ethical norms of the meeting that I attend on a weekly basis at ABC Company. I hope everyone learned something. I hope it was somewhat edifying. I appreciate your time, and I want to wish everyone good luck, and hope everyone does good on your future endeavors, and I hope to see some of you guys again in some of these upcoming classes. So best wishes to everyone, and thanks again for listening. And there's the references right there, and just wanted to say thanks again, and God bless.